Okay, hi there. So this is my first video on the road to Ironman 70.3 in 2023, and it's sort of called the why, the how, and the why again. So one thing I want to start with is where we are in 2022 as of October. So we've completed some multiple events. We did an Olympic triathlon at Dorney Lake in the summer with a really good result. Done a couple of road sportives. We even did an ultra 250k around London sportive at the beginning of October. That's the ultra distance cycling event. We even did a sub triathlon, which was an interesting concept. I really enjoyed this. And so instead of the swimming, you do stand-up paddleboarding, and instead of road cycling, I chose to do the mountain biking with a trail run. And that was really good fun, and it was very different from doing a usual triathlon. Did some 10k running races with a really good outcome on that. Also did a 5k open water swim down the Thames, which I really did enjoy. That's probably one of those events where I got out and you think, oh, that was tough, I don't know if I enjoyed that. I got out of that and I really did enjoy that, so that was really good fun. And we've done a lot of consistent training through the year, really since January, when we did the Olympic triathlon training program for quite a few weeks. And we did, though, have one injury and illness scare. So came off my mountain bike in March, damaged my knee a bit, a few scrapes, which took me out. And we picked up a bug, I think, from swimming, open water swimming, but I'm not sure, but it just washed me out for a couple of days. Apart from that, touching wood, he does here, we've been fairly healthy all through the year. So what's the why of doing an Ironman 70/30 at my not advanced age, but shall we say we're in our late 50s now? To be quite honest, sprint triathlons, Olympic triathlons, no, they don't really offer me a challenge. I've done them well. I did the Olympic triathlon was not too taxing. The swim was quite difficult, but swimming's improved. But overall, for the amount of money that they cost, I don't actually know whether I'm really getting the sense of challenge out of them that I used to. My swimming is so much better, which means that I'm using them really as warm-up events, especially the sprint triathlon. That's just like, I remember when I did the London one last year in 2021, I went round and I sort of thought, can I go round again? Because it was good, and I just maybe I'm a bit more predicated to longer distance triathlons. So for me, the Ironman 70/30 is a natural progression. It's going to be a real challenge. It's not an easy thing for me to do or to attempt. And as always, I do need a tangible challenge for 2023. This year's tangible challenge was to do an Olympic again in under the 3 hours. I did that in 2:40, and to go back and do the London Revolution Ultra cycle ride in one go, which I did the day event, where last year I did the 2-day event. So we always need a challenge for the year, and doing that is going to be. So as my mantra states, we need to go beyond our limits, and I think doing this 70/30 is going to me going beyond my limit on a couple of things in volume, and particularly on the running side. And as I would think, this presents a new set of challenges to overcome, particularly in the running and the strength training, and putting it all together. And there's a big jump. You're doubling everything almost, and that in itself offers a really different set of challenges and things we've got to overcome and train for. So what are the issues with an Ironman 70.3 for myself? Well, running the half marathon distance with my back and injuries is going to be is going to be a real issue. I had a lapsed disc 3 years ago, which I'm lucky to recover from, but I've really refrained from running more than 10-11 miles in one go. I haven't run a half marathon for 5 years, and I do have a few injuries that pop up, particularly on my running, so I will have to manage my running well. Committing to the block of training required intensity for the first part of the year. I'm pretty much coming up to the 3rd year where I've trained hard every year. I'm not saying that it might be difficult because I've done it before, but I certainly think that this is going to be having to manage the training in a sensible way, because I just can't do 16 weeks straight through. That's just impossible for me with life and the way I work it. Getting into the right condition for the race is going to be imperative, and that's going to mean toughening up my body, getting to a level of fitness I probably haven't had for quite a while. So that's going to be a challenge, but it's something I'm really looking forward to. And choosing the appropriate race event at the right time of year. I'm going for early summer, and I've got my eye on a couple of races. But yeah, I may only do one of these, and I want to do it right. So what's about the race and its different components? So for me, the 1.9 kilometer swim, I'm confident about doing that, as I swam the distance consistently. I've swam 5k in one go. Pace wise, I may need to quicken up my pace a bit, and my sighting really does need a bit of work. The 90k bike ride, the cycling is my strongest discipline, and I do ride regularly on quite hilly courses. I'm used to hill climbs, so I'm not too worried about the bike. And the one that's going to be is the run. So I've rarely run over 15k because of the back, so this may be an issue, and this is something I've really got to focus on. So what's the plan? So the plan is run a test half marathon, see if the back's good and the time of pace is right. So it is all about running a test event to see if we can do it. One of my early tests was, I ran an Olympic triathlon with really good outcome. I did my stretching and my yoga at the end after the race, woke up next morning, wasn't crippled, felt really good. So this weekend, near the end of October, we're going to run the Kingston Half Marathon at manageable pace, 10-minute miles, aiming between 2:15 and 2:20. We're not going to go any quicker. I'm going to try and be disciplined. And then if we do this, then we go on to the next stage, which will be to plan out, find the race, enter that race, plan it out, and look at doing the training. So coming next, we're going to do a run report on Kingston and how did we do. So given that I have got a couple of niggling injuries at the moment, I want to see how we